Welcome to Spelling Bee Ninja, where we're on a mission to make learning and exploring ideas exciting. Join our community of curious minds for thoughtful discussions that empower you to think critically and creatively. Don't forget to subscribe for your dose of free educational content that inspires and challenges you to understand the world around you. Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic in philosophy: free will. Have you ever considered whether we truly control our decisions or if they are determined by factors beyond our control? This question has been at the heart of philosophical discussions for centuries. Free will is often defined as the ability to choose among different possible actions, free from external or internal influences. It's this very idea that forms the cornerstone of moral responsibility. Think about it: we hold people accountable for their actions, but how can we do that if those actions are not truly their own? This is where the debate deepens. Philosophers, theologians, and scientists have long engaged in this discussion. If we lack free will, can we still be held morally responsible? This inquiry leads us to explore the nature of human autonomy and dignity, inviting us to consider what it means to be human. Now, let's turn to determinism. Determinism is the belief that every event, including human decisions, is caused by previous events and the natural laws. If this is correct, it implies that every choice we think we make is merely the result of prior causes, making true freedom an illusion. A historical figure often associated with this belief is Pierre-Simon Laplace, who imagined a celestial being capable of predicting the future by knowing the location and speed of every particle in existence. If our universe operates under determinism, our choices might be more predetermined than we believe. Interestingly, however, modern science, particularly quantum mechanics, introduces a twist. It suggests that at a microscopic level, the universe may not be entirely deterministic, which opens up a possible door for free will. This relationship between determinism and free will forms a core question in philosophical inquiry. Next, we explore libertarianism, a viewpoint asserting that free will does exist and cannot coexist with determinism. Advocates of libertarianism argue that individuals possess the capacity to make genuine choices that are not dictated by previous conditions. Importantly, this philosophical stance is distinct from political libertarianism, which focuses on individual rights and governmental roles. The challenge from libertarian proponents lies in reconciling their beliefs with scientific insights about the universe. Some suggest that agents can cause their actions, independent of prior events, while others posit that quantum mechanics grants a level of randomness that might allow for free will. However, critics counter that randomness does not equate to control. Interestingly, while libertarianism is a minority viewpoint among philosophers, its implications continue to stir debate, highlighting the complexity and nuances of free will discussions. Now, let's consider compatibilism, often termed soft determinism. Compatibilists argue that free will and determinism can indeed coexist. They redefine free will to mean acting in accordance with one's desires and motivations, not free from causation. For instance, if a person decides on a healthy diet, that choice may arise from their values and desires influenced by prior experiences. Thus, even if their decisions are determined by past events, they can still exercise free will. Notably, philosophers like Epictetus and David Hume have championed compatibilism, asserting that freedom stems from our capacity to act according to our intentions, not the absence of causation. This perspective is attractive to many contemporary philosophers, as it upholds notions of moral responsibility while embracing our scientific understandings of the world. Next up is hard determinism, which staunchly argues that if determinism is true, free will simply does not exist. Proponents like Paul Holbach have challenged the idea of moral responsibility in a deterministic universe, suggesting that believing we are responsible is an illusion. They grapple with profound questions about how society could function without the premise of free will. If individuals aren't truly free, how do we address crime and punishment? Some hard determinists advocate for practical measures rather than punitive ones, suggesting rehabilitation over punishment could be a more humane approach. Although hard determinism remains a minority position, it raises vital questions about justice and responsibility. A fascinating area of exploration in our free will discussion is neuroscience. Recent studies indicate that brain activity can precede conscious decisions, leading to the notion that our conscious thoughts may come too late. Benjamin Libet's groundbreaking experiments revealed that brain signals occurred before participants were consciously aware of their decision to act, which many interpret as evidence against the concept of free will. However, some philosophers counter this point, arguing that even if an action is prepared unconsciously, conscious thought can still influence outcomes. This ongoing exploration in neuroscience keeps the debate on free will vibrant and relevant as our understanding of the brain evolves. Then, we must consider the intrinsic link between free will and moral responsibility. Our legal and ethical systems are predominantly based on the idea that individuals can be held accountable for actions they freely choose. When coercion or external factors come into play, we typically offer excuses. If determinism claims no free will, how should we re-evaluate moral responsibility? Some contend that in a deterministic world, we could still hold people accountable for their intentions and character. Alternatively, others argue we need to prioritize rehabilitation over blame. The intricate dance of free will and moral responsibility significantly impacts our justice system and societal norms, challenging us to rethink our views of culpability. Next, the idea that free will could be merely an illusion is a compelling argument some philosophers and scientists put forth. They highlight how our choices can be heavily influenced by factors like environment, upbringing, and even unconscious processes. Daniel Wegner, a psychologist, proposed that our sense of making choices is a retrospective illusion, suggesting that we often feel responsible for actions not entirely within our control. This notion has implications within both neuroscience and psychology, raising controversial discussions among scholars. Critics of the illusion argument point out that even if our decisions show deterministic patterns, we still possess some level of control. Whether free will exists remains an endlessly debated mystery within both philosophy and science. Lastly, it is essential to recognize that free will is a central theme in many religious beliefs. Numerous traditions uphold the belief that humans have free will, enabling the capability to choose between moral paths. This raises captivating questions, particularly about divine foreknowledge. If a deity knows every future action, how does that align with our ability to make choices? This theological puzzle has inspired a myriad of interpretations, adding complexity to the discussion of free will and God. The dichotomy of divine knowledge and human freedom is intricate and significant, continually sparking philosophical and theological dialogues. As we sift through the layers of the free will debate, it becomes evident that this question is profound and timeless. It speaks to our understanding of humanity, morality, and our very existence. Whether free will is an inherent trait or an illusion deeply impacts our relationships, ethics, and responsibilities. This philosophical inquiry has practical ramifications for how we shape our societies and craft our concepts of justice. As we further integrate technology into our lives, even artificial intelligence evokes questions of free will and moral accountability. By exploring the depths of free will, we engage in a dialogue that reflects our complex human experience and the power of philosophical thought. In summary, our exploration of the concept of free will reveals a rich tapestry of philosophical thought that intertwines with ethics, consciousness, and even the implications of modern neuroscience. From determinism to libertarianism, compatibilism to the notion of free will as an illusion, each perspective contributes to our understanding of this significant topic. The continuous dialogue surrounding free will not only invites us to reflect on our own choices but also challenges us to reconsider accountability and justice in society. As we ponder the complexities of free will, we acknowledge its vital role in shaping human experiences and moral landscapes. Thank you for joining us on this philosophical journey about free will. We hope this episode has inspired you to think critically about the choices you make and the underlying factors that influence them. Don't forget to subscribe to Spelling Bee Ninja for more enlightening discussions that explore intriguing ideas and challenge your perspectives. Until next time, keep questioning and exploring the world around you.